Hello, beautiful. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to all from wherever you may be tuning in from. Welcome to our show. We're a group of psychics and spiritual mediums coming together to help everyone awaken, align with their higher selves and soul's purpose while lifting up humanity. I'm Kristie, and today I'll be your co-host.
Lovely.
Good to see everyone today. How is you guys doing?
Whoop whoop. Doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
Today-
yeah, you go.
Today, our topic is meditation. We're going to talk about why, when, where, how, some different techniques. And we're going to end our show today with a short grounding meditation. So stick around so you can experience that with us today. We're going to start out, though, with a simple breathing exercise. And that is learning to be aware of your breath. That's a key element when learning to quiet your mind. Quieting your mind is one of the main goals in meditation also. So it's important, especially if you are new and just learning to meditate. And for those in the comments, if you could just put a 1 in there, if you're new to meditation, and that way I'll know we've got some newbies in here. And hopefully this meditation, the breathing exercise will help you with your techniques. Okay, great. All right, does anybody have anything that they would like to say before we get started with a little breathing session? It's going to be just 4 to 5 minutes long for that.
Yeah, if I'm going to add anything, it really this isn't something that you should beat yourself up on. This isn't about how you do it. It really is just about consistency and just doing it. It's not about what the effects are. It's not about analyzing it. It's just being in the space and just doing it. And that's what the real effect that I notice anyways, and that we've kind of heard from our teachers and people around us and other people. But yeah, that's my two cents.
Absolutely.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah, consistency is good because that way we train our minds. We're so used to, we get into where we just are used to how we think about things, and we have to actually train our minds to think a little bit differently. So this exercise helps to actually quiet your mind. What we're doing is changing our focus away from all the thoughts are going on in our head all the time to just breathing. And that once you start doing that, it kind of kicks out those thoughts. And when you're first starting, it's okay if you start to wonder, if you notice that you're thinking about something you got to do later today or some bills that need to be paid or blah, 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 starts coming in, just like focus back on your breath again. And then it just wipes it out. Once you focus on your breath, those thoughts are just gone automatically. Okay, so what we're going to do, it'll take 4 or 5 minutes for this breathing exercise. And you can sit up or lie down, whatever is comfortable for you. Just make sure you're relaxed. If you're sitting up, be sure and put both of your feet on the floor. Just a reminder, if your thoughts start wandering, just bring your thoughts back to your breath. If you have water available, get you a drink before we start. It's an absolute really good grounding tool is water. All right, get yourself comfy and close your eyes. And I just want you to relax. Bring your thought to your breath. Some of you will feel your breath expanding and contracting from your chest. Some of you will feel your breath expanding and contracting from your abdomen. There's no right or wrong way. Just be aware of your breath. Feel the cool air coming in as you breathe in through your nose. Notice how it feels different when you breathe out the warm air coming out of your nose. Right now, I just want you to breathe normally. Become aware of how your breath and your body feels. I want you to smile. It lifts you up. Keep your eyes closed. In a moment, we're going to take 3 deep breaths in and out. I want you to bring the breath into your belly and expand it out, and then pull it up to your chest and expand it out like a wave. So we're going to breathe in and do belly out, chest out, and then we're going to slowly breathe it back out. Okay, so take a deep breath in, expand your belly, bring it up, expand your chest. Slowly exhale. Two more breaths. Take a slow, deep breath in, expand out your belly, expand out your chest. Slowly exhale. One more. Take a slow breath in, expand your belly out, expand out your chest. Slow breath out. Come back to your normal breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Bring your awareness with you as you open your eyes. This short breathing exercise can be done anywhere, anytime. It's just a few minutes. It'll help reduce stress. It'll improve your mood, and it helps control your emotions. Some physiologic things that happens, it helps regulate your breath. It increases oxygen to your lungs and helps reduce your blood pressure and your heart rate. Some psychological effects is it helps bring your focus to your breath. It helps remove your tension away from the things that might be causing your stress. So if you're having a moment where everything just feels crazy, and just take a few moments, do this exercise. You can do it anywhere. You don't have to be in any specific place, or you don't have to be set in any specific position. It's very simple to do to bring everything back into calmness. Okay, do we have any questions or comments from our panelists?
I do.
Okay.
So it's like two inhales. The first one you fill up your belly, and then you know what I mean? So it's like a 2 count inhale and then a 1 count exhale.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. If it's like you do it, the belly expansion, chest expansion, and then breathe out.
All of that out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's one breath going in.
Yes.
Take the one breath in, belly, chest, and then breathe out.
Yes. Got it.
And that helps. That just helps. Since you're also using those muscles in your belly and your chest, that helps your concentration stay more focused on your breath.
I used to just do my belly. I didn't realize I didn't take advantage of the usage of expanding my chest as well. So that felt really different. It felt really like crown tingling different.
Yeah, you can pulling that energy up, basically.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have anything?
Yeah, I have a question about breathing, because I've always been taught to breathe out through my mouth, and then put my tongue, like the tip of my tongue, on the top palate of my mouth and breathe out. I don't know if what difference that makes, or if that's even necessary. I don't feel like it was necessary in this exercise. I definitely felt like the calmness, just breathing through my nose, like you said. But I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
I think either way is right. There's no right or wrong way. In my personal opinion, if you are having some breathing issues where you're hyper ventilating, where you're breathing, a lot, and you need to slow your breath down, it would be beneficial to use your mouth because you want to get that breath out a little faster. So, but when you're in a calm and relaxed situation, I think, I personally think it's easier and more comfortable just to do nose breathing. So it's a personal preference more than anything.
Are there different types of breathing techniques that someone can use?
Yes, there's several different breathing types of different techniques that you can use. And some are like, there's Kundalini breathing, and those are more like a faster type breath. And there's the slow, calm, grounding breathing. There's the deep breathe. There's there's many different breathings. And you can look up different techniques. Actually, on YouTube, there's a lot of different techniques that you could look up, and maybe just go through some of them and find one that you're comfortable with. Because when I do my meditations, I went through a lot of guided meditations to begin with. And then I pulled out from all of the different ones I listened to what I resonated with, and then combined them to make my own personal meditations. So same way with your breathing exercises.
And is there a specific way that is there a specific exercise that you like to use for breathing?
I like using this one that we use with the belly and the chest, especially. I was always a busy mind person. My mind is, trails sometimes, and I'm just like chatter. It's like background chatter, or static is what I call it. And so if I can have something that helps me focus more on my breath, which this does, because I'm using these extra muscles and I'm concentrating on those, and that especially helps draw attention away from all the chatter. So that's what I use.
Awesome.
And I actually use a Taoist. I do Taoist breathing, with that my Tai Chi teacher is putting me through to gain energy in the body. And it starts out with actually using beads. So this is a bead of 36 and a counter. So much like prayer beads have. And I'll have a big breath in. So it's inhale in, and you blow all it out. And you do that 36 times, and you do that entire set. So that's one set. You do that 36 times. And that builds a lot of fire. It's like it's stoking the fire in the body and creating energy. But you really need to be grounded with that as well. And you got to be a little bit careful about certain things. So certain ones that you might find online, I'm just going to say, sometimes you really need a teacher behind you, like this Taoist breather I'm talking about. So don't anybody do it on their own. You need someone that actually can see through your body and can see what's happening. So some can be quite dangerous, but really effective and good for you. Yeah. And others involve sound as well, like that. As you breathe out, it has sounds and it hits different organs.
Awesome. We have a question on the screen. I put it up.
Yeah, Luna, what is the best breathing technique to keep the awareness in the body instead of the mind? Like I had mentioned, it's individual. What may work for me may not work for you. So try some different breathing techniques until you come across one. When you come across the one that works for you, you'll know. You'll know, because your mind will go silent and you'll actually be able to focus. So you'll recognize it when you find it.
And that's where guided meditation comes in, because as you hear that person's voice talk, it pulls you back in and say, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But if you're doing it silently, this is where you typically have a focal point. So whether it's breathing on your nostril of the oxygen coming into your nose or out of your nose, or thinking about a point like on your heart or a specific part of your body, and you keep your mind there. And as your mind wanders, you bring it back to that part, or you use, as Kristie was saying, using your breath. That's is always good. But guided meditation at the start is super, super effective, I find.
Absolutely.
I find it as well. That's one thing I started with, was guided meditations, because I could not quiet my mind. And now I'm to the point where I don't need guided meditations, or any type of music. I can just go in, which is very, very, very nice. But I must say, at the beginning with meditation, quieting the mind was something that I really had to get used to, because your mind isn't racing, there's no thoughts or questions, or, it's just nice and quiet. And I feel like that is something that, we all seek, but it's something that we all have to deal with in our own sort of way once we start to quiet the mind, because it's a totally different process after that. So.
Yeah, and I also started with guided meditations, but I've also had experiences where just with silent meditations. But I agree with what Kristie was saying. Like once you get there, you know what it is. Like it's easier to get there. And the more you practice meditation, one thing I've learned is the easier it is to get into a meditative state anywhere you are. So even if you're in a busy place, your mind remembers. It's like you're programming your mind, and then you remember what that stillness feels like. So it's a lot easier to get into that stillness and that feeling of alignment, and the slowing of your thoughts, so that your thoughts become really clear and really concise. So even when you're speaking really clearly and really concisely. It's like to the point, and it's just what you need to say. So that's one thing I noticed when I first started meditating. But just to speak a little on the guided meditations, I actually still love guided meditations. Like they're my favorite, because I feel you can go into deeper places with them. Like it's like an adventure to me. That's how I feel like I'm going into like a story. Because when I'm in a guided meditation, I have a lot of imagery come to me. And when I do my own meditations now, once I do a lot of guided meditations, then I can guide myself through meditation in my own mind. So that's actually what I enjoy the most when I meditate, is going just to see like who comes in. So my guides will come in, they'll just show up. I'll see like this landscape in my mind. It's like I'm traveling the inner realms of my mind. It's hard to explain, but and anyways, it's just fun to me, that part of exploring deeper within as you get into that practice.
Yeah, and I typically do silent meditation as well. I started out with like Vipassana, which is you're in silence for 2 to 3 hours at a time for 10 hours a day of silence. And that really, you go a little bit stir crazy at the start. You get really uncomfortable, but it's almost like brain surgery. It forces you in 10 days to get really quiet. And like Rachel, so I'll set my alarm for 60 minutes, but at 20-minute intervals, I'll have a bell that will go off. That will put me into the next stage. So the first stage, I do just silence for 20 minutes, and then I'll go into releasing emotions out of the body for 20 minutes, and then I'll go into manifesting for 20 minutes. And that's what I'm currently doing, which is just the thing I'm doing now. Yeah. So if I'm looking to heal my body, so you saw something about digestive systems and reconnecting with the body. This is something that is all collected by putting your mind on the digestive system and seeing what's going on there. What do you do for that?
Yeah, so June said, so breathing into your belly will help heal the digestive system. That was her question. Let's see.
I feel like, yes, absolutely. And you can also use your I am confirmations as you're doing and your breathing or your meditations. And what that is you could say stuff like, I am healthy, I am happy, I am abundant. And you can integrate if you are having digestive issues or heart issues or whatever, you can integrate that into there. And my body is working efficiently and flowing with ease and grace, and my arteries are and veins are open and freeing, flowing freely, and that type of, it's like a self-talk, but it's also, your words are so very powerful. And remember that, because a lot of us, we say, I am sick, or I feel bad. And that really amplifies the sickness or the tiredness or whatever, because your body really listens and responds to those thoughts or those words. And so I just want to emphasize how powerful you are, and your verbiage and your thoughts are to your body, because it does respond and it does listen to your thoughts and your words. So absolutely, you can heal yourself with your thoughts and your words.
Absolutely.
I had a question.
Okay.
How does everyone feel about meditating with the frequency music? Do any of you do that?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I started with guided meditations as well. I think everyone does. But I found myself really geared towards the angel frequency meditations. And I would really get all the feels and and feel like I am somewhere else. How does that? How do you guys react to those frequency meditations?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that when I just responded. That was part of the thing that I wanted to talk about, because that's actually what I would do when I go through like my self-guided meditations. I always have that music on. I use like singing bowls, like a frequency like 528 hertz, or a healing. I don't know if that's the right number, but I think it is.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. And so I put that on, and yeah, it's like, I'm there. I'm fully there. I don't have any problems keeping my mind out of the equation as much. I find it's like I'm entering into another realm, and it's way easier to go into these like ethereal places. And then I just wanted to add to Kristie what was talking about talking to your body through meditation. That's also what I started. That was one way I learned how to do self-healing, was through that. I was guided by I think it was Archangel Raphael who kind of taught me that technique, how to go within and through meditation, talk to your body. And I would ask my body questions. If there was a pain in my body, I would focus my awareness on that pain. And then I would ask that pain, what is it you want to release, or what are you feeling? And I would get a response in my mind from that pain, and I would journal that down, and then I would get a lot of awareness around, what was causing different pains and feelings in my body, and then I would talk to it in a way that was loving and healing, to help calm that pain down, or give it love, I guess is what it is all about. So send it the healing energy.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do all day. I wake up in the morning. First thing I do before I even grab my phone, I talk to my body. I say, good morning. How are you? Oh, like, and I just do a bit of a scan and I say, I love you. And I talk to all my parts, just like as you would a baby, and I just talk to my body. And then as I get a feeling or a pain, just like Rachel, I put my mind there. I find out what the emotion is. I'll draw it out with my intention and then put my mind back there. I'll give it love and then put my mind back there again and do the same. And that's a lot of the William Michael Forbes 102 type work. And it's just constant of that. And it's so effective. But throughout the entire day, like my conversation with my body, and because this has become a practice, it is constantly giving my body praise. And when I all of a sudden think about a past moment or something that happened in the past or something comes up, it's like, there's a trigger right there. Oh, well, let's put my mind on that thought that I'm having of that, with that event. And, oh, there's an emotion to it. Okay, let's draw that emotion out. And that is so healing, removing all those past dense emotions. Yeah, love is so powerful.
Absolutely. Yeah, so June was asking, is that binary beats? I believe it's binaural beats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube.
The thing about the binaural beats on YouTube, when it gets re-sampled on YouTube, it's not as effective. So you don't actually get the true frequency that you want to hit through, because it's been resampled through YouTube. So that's the only thing that you got to watch out for. So see if you can get a download or a share from somebody, or even better, buy a copy, and you'll get a better quality of the frequency that happens there.
I was going to say, I meditate with the frequencies as well. And it gets to a point where if I hear it outside of meditation, my body automatically wants to go to that state of peace and calm. And, I go into this little trance, and it could be even just walking into a little store, a crystal store or something that has that type of frequency. But I find that the more I do frequency meditations, we're programming our mind, our body to really listen to these frequencies. So I think it's fascinating the way my body reacts, and this might happen to you guys too as well. When I go into a place and I hear that specific tone, my body's like ding and just buzzing all over.
Do you guys use the frequency app at all?
No.
Okay, so that's something I'm going to put out there to everyone, man. So this is a frequency app that you can get, and it emits a sound, and it just has a dial on there that you go through different frequencies. And as you go through it, you'll feel it in different areas of your body. So if you want to work on your third eye or your ear chakra or any one of your other chakras, you can tune it to a certain frequency. But instead of actually using what you might find on the internet or what somebody tells you, tune in and feel it in the body. And when you feel it, let's say you want to work on your digestive system. Okay, well, tune the frequency until you feel it in your digestive system, and then do your meditation then, and then see what comes up. So the frequency app is really good during a meditation as well. And you'll know that your body says, okay, I'm done with it, because you get all squirmy, and the body will change. And once the body calms down, then you kind of change it.
And is the one you have, is that for Google, for Android and Mac, Android and iPhone, Apple?
It's this was just called Frequency Generator. There's a bunch of them that you can find in the Play Store and the Apple Store. And I'm not exactly sure if this one is also Apple, because I have an Android, so I'm not exactly sure.
Just check it out.
But yeah, there's a lot of different frequency generators out there for sure.
Lovely. Loretta, I can't see everyone's messages. Loretta, we stream live to 6 different channels, so everyone is on various channels. So that's why you don't see everyone's comment. That's why I put it up on screen to answer your question.
And speaking to what Desiree was saying about how when you hear the frequency, it kind of puts you into that place. I notice now that lately I haven't had as much time in my schedule to meditate. So I haven't been, strict with my meditation practice. I tend to go through cycles with that. And I'd just like to put that out there also for people who, maybe you just don't feel like you have the time, or you're not always in the mood to meditate. I get that totally. And I go through cycles with it. So I try to just listen to my body. If my body feels like I'm in a cycle where I just need to kind of stay moving, and maybe my body's telling me I want to go out into nature, or I want to spend more time exercising, or whatever that is, I try to always listen to my body. But what Desiree was saying is kind of true for me also. So what I've been trying to do is find ways around that, instead of just, getting mad at myself for like, oh, you're supposed to be meditating and you're not meditating. And, I don't like to play that kind of program in my head. When I'm driving, I'm like, well, I have time when I'm driving. Let me just try listening to, peaceful music when I'm driving, or in the moments where I'm awake and I'm alert and I'm doing something, but I can easily tune out and kind of get into that more meditative space. And it really works well. I mean, I'll listen to guided meditations while I'm driving, and I still feel a shift in my energy by doing that, and even just the frequencies too. So it's just about learning how to integrate that into your life in a way that works for you. It shouldn't feel like work. And that's one thing that I want to stress about meditation is it's kind of like going to the gym for me. It's like, it takes a little while to get into the routine of it. But once you do get into the routine of it, I do find it's like you enjoy it. You want to do it more. But it's also a process of integration and understanding that there's no right or wrong way. So like if you're not able to do it and sustain that practice, you need to take a break from it because it's just too stressful, or you're just not finding the time. Just take a break from it, and it'll come back around when the time is right. So don't try to force it so much, I think is the other aspect, and do it in a way that feels right for you. So if 5 minutes a day of just practicing your breath work is helpful to you, then do that. But if you are setting yourself up for like, I need to be meditating an hour a day, like I need to, then that's kind of taking the joy out of the process of it. So that's just one thing I'd like to add.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and something that I do too is even during housework, when I wash dishes, or when I'm vacuuming, you can integrate it really while you're doing anything. So just to, you were talking about how when you're driving, but just about anything, you can integrate that into it. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. And I also wanted to say the sound frequency and vibration is very important, especially to healing. And vibration we can experience if you guys have tuning forks or have ever experienced those. You can get tuning forks and actually experience the feeling of that frequency vibration on your body, which is amazing. And you can kind of get a little bit of the vibration if you have a good headset. You can kind of get a feeling of a little bit of the vibration too that way. So I just wanted to put that in there too.
Lovely. Grace was asking the name of the app, so that would be like the frequency generator. Yeah. And there are other ones as well. And from a meditation app, you can also have like Insight Timer is a good one. It's really expanded over time. So
now I use the Insight Timer as well. I was using that one, but now I've just switched to a bell. So just a simple, and Insight Timer has that. You can just you can put intervals in there. But I found I have another app that I just have a bell that will go off, and I set it for whatever it is. So let's say I only have 30 minutes of meditation time, then I'll do, let's say 20 minutes of silence, 5 minutes of releasing, and 5 minutes of manifesting. Yeah. I'll kind of break it up if I want to shift things, or I'll just stay in silence throughout the entire time.
But all the options are in Insight Timer as well, right? You can just set one bell or intervals or in the end or beginning, whatever you want. So
that's a really good product.
Go check it out. Hi, Sanjukta.
Hey, San.
And I'm being reminded to tell you guys to have fun with it. Have fun with meditation. Meditation Absolutely. Is fun, and if you guys are into guided meditations, find something that's really fun, That's how I started off, I started off finding things that were really fun to meditate to, I mean, meditation's fun in general, but sometimes it can be, all right, let me work on the solar plexus, or, let me work on certain aspects of things going on within me. There are certain meditations for that, but there are awesome other meditations as well, guided meditations. So have fun with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. Ultimately, though, it really is to train the mind and the body. And when your body starts getting squirmy, so there's a point when your mind just starts getting really squirmy, and your body's fighting back. That's where you want to breathe back to it, as Kristie said, to kind of come back to your breath. And once the body calms, like, don't stop, don't come out of your meditation until you've calmed your mind, or you calm your body. So let that little craziness of your body pass through, and that raciness, let it pass through. Once it stops, then you can stop. It's just like your child. You're not going to actually reward your child by being crazy. You wait for them to be calmed down before you actually let them do something. There's the same thing we're doing with our bodies. You let your body calm down, let the mind calm down before you actually move on.
Absolutely. Let's see. Sanjukta.
Is everyone drawn to archangels, angels and archangels? Like, is that your thing?
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah.
Now, I am. I personally am. I don't know about everyone else, but I think a lot of us seem to be.
Yeah, I'm not. So I'm just curious about everyone else, because everyone calls in their angels, and like any problem that kind of comes in or anything that they need to do, they call in an angel. But that's not what I'm personally resonated to. So I'm just curious to see anybody else if it was like that too.
What? So who do you call? Do you call someone else in? What? Tell me. What do you do?
I call myself in. I'm the power.
Your higher self.
It's not even my higher self. It's just it's us. It's me. I am love. I am this being, and that's a collective of all of us. We are all here. This is all, like, each 6 of these people that you're seeing on screen is us. It's me. It's all one thing. We're just in different shapes and sizes, different shells, different actor suits. We're experiencing life all together. So that I'm at a point where I am love. I am light. It's me. This is me. Like, there's nothing else about it. So I typically rely on myself, and I know that's just kind of what happens with myself. But I know a lot of people call in angels, and then some people love candles. They have to love a candle, but it doesn't resonate with me, but it resonates with someone else. So I was just kind of curious about the angels with everyone else.
That's beautiful, Fawn. I love that perspective.
I do too.
Yeah, I think that's really relevant, because when I first started channeling, my guides were directing my process. So I really relied on them to teach me things. But now that I have that connection with my body, with myself, and I understand what it means to be sovereign unto self, and the whole purpose of waking up is getting to a point where you are relying on yourself for truth, relying on yourself for answers. The angels would never tell me what to do. They would just kind of give me a key, if that makes any sense. They would just be like, try this, but it's you have the power. It's within you. You're just remembering, what you already know. That's what they kept saying to me. You're remembering what you already know this. Remember? They would say. And I was like, okay, I guess. I don't know. So in the beginning, they were leading me with what they would call divine acts of faith. So I would ask them what to do about something, and they would kind of lead me through the process of what to do about that. And then I would try it, and it was a divine act of faith. So I would just put my faith and trust, and it would always come out as they would say. So less and less, I'm more now less relying on my angels to tell me, to even give me guidance. Like, I'm just so tuned to my own intuition now that I don't channel messages every day from them. I don't really ask them a lot. Once in a while, if I'm, it's a major thing and I really want to get their opinion on it. But yeah, I think I've reached a point where I had this realization that it's like I don't need to use them as the mediator. I can just go directly to my own power, like I am, like Khan was saying. So I'm resonating with that more. But I do think there's a state, like a process to that people go through, the more that they test out what their angels are telling them to do or sharing with them, the more they get into that power and place. And then they're like, I don't really need to rely on the candles. I don't need to rely on the cards. I don't need to, I'm just connected. I'm just always there, always present with myself.
Nice.
Absolutely. So Sun was asking, what do you guys do for protection before going out? If you know you will meet lots of people, any specific meditations?
I do that heart coherence twice a day. So since I've been doing the heart coherence, the love thing that I've been doing live twice a day, since I've been doing that, I feel protected like all the time. It's like 13 hours of protection, and I'm doing it every 12 hours. So I'm just constantly protected. So I just feel so empowered that when I walk out there, I'm now shifted my mindset that I'm just giving everybody love now. And because love is the highest frequency and nothing can kind of come in and penetrate that is something. But I also pretty much end all my meditations by saying, I only allow love inside my space. I only allow love outside of my space. And I find that I don't even have to do anything. Not to say I won't take in other people's emotions, because we do, as all of us are high level empaths, you end up picking up other people's emotions, and you got to catch that. It's like, oh, I feel like crap. Something's going on. Oh, okay. What is it? Give it love and spread it out. And that just eradicates any negativity.
Yeah. So you're not into protection bubbles or anything?
No, I am I am. It's like that light going through the darkness. It doesn't matter what's in my path. I am the light. I'm healing everybody. I am. Yeah, that's the mindset. In order, because I'm healing my body. I'm purposely healing the body of degenerative disc disease. It is such a big thing. I have to get myself into a high level state and sustain myself in that high level state. And it's why I'm doing these lives and other things. It's to raise the vibrations and sustain it. It's why I come on camera so much, because this is being in the collective. This is where that high vibration is.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful.
I think also there's stages that people have to go through. A lot in the beginning. It's important, I feel like, to put that bubble around you, to think about, especially if you're feeling a lot of different energies when you go out in a crowd. So I think it's important for you to maybe visualize a bubble around you to protect yourself until you do get to a point where, like Con was saying, that you feel it's there all the time, and you don't really have to think about it. You just go and it's there. But initially, if you're going out in public and you're still feeling a lot of energy coming in from the people or the crowds around you, then yes, you need to think about putting that bubble up around you so that you can automatically manifest that in the future. It'll automatically just be there.
Beautiful.
And I used to do protection bubbles and stuff, but after a while, it's just like Con, it's just a knowing, and just knowing that, you're always protected, and, so when I wake up now, it's just a knowing, like I'm protected, and it's not something that it's an automatic thing. So, but I used to do protection bubbles, and I got myself into a groove when I first started and things of that sort. And so then my higher self was like, what are you doing now? You're protected. There's no need to continue doing this, because it's you're also programming. So, after it's like you program, it's programmed in, so yeah.
And just when you're saying that, it just makes me realize that, like, that's the integration process, that, like, what you're going through. It's just like you needed it. You needed to like, maybe you needed the walker to help you walk, or when you're roller skating, you need that little thing to hold on to when you're learning how to roller skate, but then eventually you're like, I don't need this anymore. It's just a natural process, and of knowing when you're ready to release that, and you're aligned. And just wanted to add that.
Yeah, it's a lot like we're babies. We start out in our ascension and our spiritual process, and we're just little infants, and we got to learn to focus on things, and we got to learn to react to things, and we got to learn to protect ourselves. And as we grow, as we get older, it's like when we start riding a bike, we got to have training wheels, and then we can take them off. And when we learn to drive, we're focused on every little thing, and then later on we just go. So it's the same process you go through with awakening and your spiritual development. You just wherever each person is individual, and we're not going to be in the same place at the same time. We're scattered at different places, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But for some of us have already been through what you're getting ready to go through, or what you're going through right now. So we can always help each other out and be like, hey, this is what I did when I was going through that, and it helped me. Maybe you can try it, and maybe it'll help you too. So, and that's one of the main purpose of our shows is to help you guys, to start walking and start running and get those training wheels off. And, we're here for each other, and we don't judge you, and we have no expectations. We're just here to help. And so I want to put that out there for everybody. But yeah.
Beautiful. So it's now time for the Q&A. So we're gonna let's see. So we're not doing readings today, to be clear. So if you have any questions, just let us know, and we'll put it up on screen, and we'll give you some answers. The first one is from Sanyukta. How do we know we have integrated with our higher selves?
I feel like you'll just know, like, it's by the way you speak, talk, just your being, your presence, just everything you do is from love, and that's what your higher self is. At least from my experience, is my higher self is love, and I feel like everyone's higher self is love. But and that's just just one aspect of it. So I know that there are many aspects of integrating your higher self in, or knowing, or getting an idea of what it feels like to have your higher self integrated in. But I'm sure some of you guys might have some other ideas or experiences.
Let us know as well, and we'll put it up. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if I have connected with my higher self. I'm still wondering if is it something very clear and definitive? So, there's my higher self. But outside of a knowing, I just feel connected. But I wouldn't necessarily define it as my higher self. I think it's just myself. But I can't say if I've gotten to that point to say, there it is. There's my higher self as a separate being or a separate thing, to say I feel it, I see it.
Would it be like a difference in empowerment, maybe? What do you think about that?
Possibly. If that is, then I feel I have reached a higher level of empowerment, because, and especially since I've been doing the purposely the love heart coherence twice a day, by doing that has put me in that constant state, like I said earlier. And I think that I feel empowered. I feel much stronger. I feel so much confident in myself, and just overall elevated. And all the lower vibrational emotions have disappeared. But the higher vibration ones are saying. So if that is what we want to define as higher self, then yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with what Desiree said. It's and to add to that, just being more aware of having a higher sense of awareness about things. And I kind of think of it as when you stop, when you're faced with, for instance, a challenge, and you stop and you think, well, what's the best thing to do, or what's the better thing to do? What is for everyone's highest good, or whatever the case may be. When you find yourself asking those types of questions to yourself, that's when I feel like you're connected with your higher self, when you're putting everything above, everything above yourself. your ego, basically.
So how do you achieve that, Martine? For you personally, is that from a daily practice? Is there something specific that you do? How are you achieving that?
I personally achieve that by taking my time in things and not rushing to judgment, and just, taking my time. And I think Rachel said something about when you speak more clearer, and it's at that point where you slow down. When you meditate a lot, it kind of fuses itself. Even when you stop meditating and you're going about your day, sometimes I still find myself in a meditative state, depending on what I'm doing. So then you're slowed down, and so that you can make like more clearer decisions and better decisions, as opposed to being hasty and just going off at the hip.
Yeah, I agree with everybody, what all of you said. I think it's, all of that. And, but what Martine just said really resonated with me the most, about being in a state of higher awareness, and just always knowing that you have the power to choose your reaction in the moment. So just because something's coming at you energetically, you have the right and the power to choose how you respond to that. So when you're making that choice, are you coming from a place of fear, like your ego, what your needs are, a selfish kind of, I need this in the moment, so I'm going to, respond this way? Are you reactive, or are you coming from your higher awareness? Are you able to take that step back and really see from a neutral perspective all the pieces and all the messages that are coming in? And I really think it's so important to hold that intention of serving or acting in a way that's in alignment, or that's for the highest good of all in the situation. So that's going to look differently than how your ego might define what the highest good of all is going to be different than how your higher self is going to define that. So yeah, I think meditation helps you to take that step back and tap into that higher awareness more easily. But it's a practice, it's just setting your intention to do that. And yeah.
And I was also going to say that can also be a meditation that you can incorporate. It's just taking time in and calling in your higher self and seeing the difference of the energies. So that way you get an idea of when that integration starts. There's that, oh, okay, I understand. I felt this energy before. But, and also just meditation itself, connecting with your higher self, is very, very obviously beneficial, because you're connecting to you.
So when you're saying connecting to your higher self, would that be the same word as awareness?
Yes.
Connecting to the void, or...
Well, and see, and it could be anything really, like, your higher self could be your awareness, it can be the universe, it can be, it all depends on what resonates with you. But yes, your higher self can be your awareness.
Kind of like the same thing as the word God doesn't necessarily resonate with me, but the collective does.
Yes. Yes.
And I view like our higher self as the part of ourselves that's always connected to source. It's like never really in a state of separation, which is more of a fifth dimensional concept, like oneness. There's always oneness from that higher dimension, whereas like we have this physical bodies are in the third dimension, so we're experiencing what appears to be separation from God. But our higher self, we are never separated from, and it is never separated from God. So it's love, it's higher awareness, it's all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Yes.
Let's go to the next question, because we have more questions. Let's see. Sanyukta is saying, how do you incorporate visualizations when you meditate? Sometimes I'll start blank and I'll be led to see stuff. who has an idea about that?
I can't answer that question because I still have a hard time with the visualizations when I do guided. I just try, and then after a while, I just give up and I just relax and forget about trying to visualize anything.
Do you also try it in the dark, in different settings, lighting?
Well, my eyes are closed, so it's dark.
Yeah, okay, but still, real darkness in a room is still different.
It is dark. When I meditate, it is pretty much dark. I just have my salt lamp on, but yeah, it would be dark. Yeah.
Okay.
Now that you're on that, I want to get back to Sun's question as well. But when I was in Vipassana, after you've gone through the process and you've done it for a while, so near the end of the initial 10 days, when you get to like day 7, 8, you have the option of going essentially into a closet. And you go into this closet, the door is closed, and all there is a chair. But it is so dark in there that you see nothing. And it ends up being this sensory depth perception that happens that you just lose. It just takes you to such a deeper level. While I was in this box, I had 3 specific deja vu events that were so clear and vivid that I was living the moment as it was happening. It's like I relived it during those moments. It was quite clear and opening. So the darkness actually made a big difference for me.
Awesome.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was really cool. Yeah.
Trying face mask, maybe.
I use a face mask as well. Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
All right.
Yeah. I think too, if you try too hard, it puts a block up. It's gonna push it. It's just like anything else. If you are trying, it's like it's an automatic block. So really, me personally, I just I don't think about visualizations at all. It's not even something that I think about, and they just automatically come that way. So maybe just not putting attention to it will bring it to you.
Now,
or setting positive intentions about it.
Yeah, that's what I always end up doing. I always just say, forget it. Let me just allow it.
Yeah.
Whatever to come will come. But I'm going to try a sleep mask.
Yeah. Try different things. See if it works.
Yeah.
Let's see. So regarding Sun's question, did we answer it now?
I'm going to add, well, I actually actively visualize. And so, but when I'm visual, so I have 3 stages. So the first is just going into complete silence and I'm waiting for my mind to calm down. And when I get to the visualization part, I am rebuilding my spine. So I'll look at anatomy quite a bit online and I study how the bone structure is. So I'll see how the skull is forming. I see the brain in perfectly because of the MS. I see no lesions. I see a perfect brain. I see the brain stem coming down. I look at the nerves going down the spine. I rebuild the spine vertebrae by vertebrae, and I see that the disc space, the padding in between, is at full expansion. And I go through each body part, and I go right down, and I see the nerves that's coming out of the spinal cord. It's going down to each hand. I see the flow, but the mind does wander off. So coming back and rebuilding it and doing that process is actively doing it, and I'm actively seeing a happy, healed body, and I feel the effects of having that happy, healed body of I'm running, I have a heel toe step, I'm running up stairs and I'm moving and I'm jumping and I'm doing all these visualizations. And that is actually proven that if you actually just visualize yourself doing, let's say, curls, you'll actually develop muscle mass. And that is scientifically proven that you can develop muscle mass and make changes in the body. It's why all the Olympic athletes, they just do visualization. So they see themselves going down the bobsled. They see themselves doing all the turns and going through each little bank. They go through all their process. So visualizations and going through that process, huge for training the mind and body. It really is to change the physical matter of the body to make changes there. So manifesting, it's really big in manifesting.
Absolutely. And I also use it for basics. Like when I meditate, I have these sceneries I have in my mind, and that's where I go, like sitting by a lake and there's a waterfall there, things like that, or on top of a mountain. And try to get some details, and I'll keep that in mind. And then next time I'll go, I'll think, where do I want to go now? And I'll go to the same scenery, you know, and it becomes very vivid as well. So that's also a thing.
Yeah, and I'm like Yele in that. Like sometimes I like to go to a certain place. I'm like, I want to go here, or it might even be a place that I've been before, so that I can really get that feeling coming in.
Yeah.
And it's like traveling to exotic locations. I mean, I can go
it's
to
amazing.
Hawaii, I can go anywhere I want, and it's awesome. And that's why I love meditating. That's what the fun part is for me.
Absolutely.
But just to go back to Sun's question, there are times too where I just feel like I let it take me where it wants to go. Like I start with a blank slate. I don't have like an idea of what I'm going to do, but it just always comes in. It just seems to always come in, and it really helps when I have the music on. I think even more so when the music is on. That's when it really starts to come in even more, because my system is responding to the music, and it's like taking me somewhere. So I just let it take me, and it's beautiful.
Awesome. So let's go to Loretta's question. What is the best way to heal my bloating? As had it for more than 20 years. Does anyone have an opinion on that?
Definitely. Who wants to go first?
Con, you're the expert on healing the body right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're studying anatomy. I mean,
I agree. Con, what do we do that?
Okay, so healing the body, I would first, after you go through a little bit of silence, or just put your mind to it and see what your body. So talk to the bloating, and ask it, why are you bloating? What's going on? And just quiet your mind and see what the answer is. Whether it's anger or sadness, resentment, maybe it's a past life, maybe it's showing up in the bloating in your body, but it's actually somewhere else in your body that the real problem is. So maybe it's not the bloating that you're finding in your abdomen, but it's in the stomach. So putting your mind on it and talking to it, and just put your mind on it. Just quiet your mind. You can even do it now. Just quiet your mind. Take a breath. Put your mind on it. And as you put your mind on, let's all put our minds on Loretta's bloating here for a second. So we put our mind on the bloating. And I'm getting sadness. I'm even seeing some resentment and some anger. This could have been how it was treated as a younger age. And I'm seeing you need to release this. So this is part of the, through the William Michael Forbes work, or you can go to my intentions development course and look at stage 2. That goes about releasing emotions. You can look at that. But this is really a lot of the 102 William Michael Forbes stuff of releasing emotions. So put your mind on that emotion. So if it's sadness, put your mind onto it. And then using your breath, as you inhale in, have you the intention that you are dragging and pulling it up your spine and up to your crown. And as you get to the top of your breath, release it and see it going out, away from you, out from your crown and out through your body. So release it, and then put your mind on it again, and actively using your intention and breath as you draw in, and feel yourself attaching onto it, and you're drawing it out of the body, up through the spine, up to the crown, and out of the body. And that is the simplest form of emotional release that I've come across. There's a lot of different forms of emotional release, but that is specific to the body part of releasing. And then give it love. It's like, I don't understand you, but I love you. I care for you. I'm going to look out for you. And this also means that, what is causing the bloating? What are you eating? What are you ingesting? Being actively, how is your diet? Are you having certain foods? You might want to try an elimination diet. Maybe there's something you need to do to get out of there. Is it wheat? Is it dairy? Is it certain things that are affecting your body that it is causing bloating, or it's inflammation is essentially it. And inflammation can go through a lot of things. It could be from the drugs that we're taking, the food that we're taking, what we're smelling. Maybe you need a detox. So talk to your body and ask it what it needs. That's my thought. Anyone else want to chime in on that?
I was feeling the sadness too, and still feeling that right now. I feel like a heavy weight. Like I felt a lot of restriction, and it feels like in my solar plexus. So just the general feeling is like, it's like your power has to do with like, your power was restricted in some way, not feeling powerful, but there's definitely a sadness there, like a sinking feeling, like a sinking back feeling. So yeah, I don't know what that's related to, but you might want to, focus on it. Like the solar plexus to me is like our power seed. It's where we get like our drive for life, like our zest for life, and the feeling of being connected to our power. So it's like that feeling maybe somewhere in your life you were disconnected from that, and there's sadness related to that experience for you that you might be holding on to, that's kind of restricting the flow of energy in that area for you and putting pressure, because I feel like it wants to be released. I feel like that might be symbolic of it wanting to come out. The bloating itself is like, it's just like pushing on you, like, come on, let's go, let's release this. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, that's something I'm going to be starting to do, is actively releasing emotions. So now that I'm doing the twice a day heart coherence thing, I'm going to start doing actively releasing emotions, because it's going to be my practice. So if anyone wants to join me online, I'm going to start that soon. I'm just trying to figure out the logistics, how to do that. But I think emotional releasing is so key for us. It's so big.
Okay,
Yeah.
next. Oh, sorry, you go.
So I just want to say, sorry, to Loretta. I seen your message where it says you were sexually abused, and I can relate to that. And what I was seeing was this backpack that you need to let it go and to release it. And I wanted to share that with you because that is something that is very difficult to let go of. Because especially, if you were sexually abused as a child, and I was in that situation, and it took me many years to disconnect from that, and to let it go, and to see it for what it was, instead of feeling and holding on to those emotions, because it really does cause a lot of damage. And so feel free to reach out to me if you need to talk about it, because I can relate to that. And but what I am seeing is you need to let that backpack drop. Just let it go, and then it's doable. You can do it. So
Beautiful. So let me get that name right. Tana Lakshmi is asking, hello, lovely people from England. Can you guide me on my spiritual path, please? I seem I'm going in a yo-yo with my challenges. So how to balance challenges and on your spiritual path is kind of what I'm getting.
I'm hearing take one day at a time. Challenges that we face are specifically designed for us for our spiritual growth. And it's about how you interact with your challenges, how you face them. Come with love when you're dealing with challenges. What is the learning lesson that I can learn from this challenge? And is it a challenge at all, right? Sometimes when we look at challenges, that's what gets us stuck, right? When we label it as a challenge. And challenges are just learning lessons, right, for our spiritual growth. So it's also a way of how you see the things that you're going through. Looking at it from a positive perspective. What more can I learn from this? Or what is it that I'm trying to learn? Or what is it that Spirit's trying to teach me? Or my higher self, or, Source, or, is trying to teach me at this time in my life. So just know that what I'm getting is your challenges that you're going through are specifically designed for you, and to really embrace these challenges, because these are here to help you for your spiritual growth.
Beautiful.
And I was hearing something similar to Desiree. I heard take a step back, but the feeling was like detached from the idea of it being a challenge, and just look at it from like a more neutral perspective from your higher awareness, and see like what am I learning from this? How can I grow from this? What's the positive aspect to this? What am I getting? What can I get from this that is a lesson that will help me on my path? Because like Desiree said, like challenges are there for a reason. They're usually there because there's some kind of lesson that we haven't quite learned yet. So we need to get through that lesson before we can move on to the next one. So they're not bad. But the feeling is like, if we attach the bad to it, then it becomes like this thing that we are, I don't know, we struggle with it a little bit more. But if we just like leave it at a more neutral perspective, then we can maybe see the message a little more clearly and get through it a little faster.
Beautiful. I hope this helps, Tanalakshmi.
Yes.
Next we have for June. Sometimes when trying to connect, I see objects vibrating. So wondering if I'm connecting or just having eye issues.
You are connecting. You are not having eye issues. I have not been there yet, but I know that this is something that happens when you are, opening up, expanding your awareness. You are actually seeing the energy around, and depending on what you're seeing, you're actually like looking at the energy of that object. So, and yeah, it's you're not having eye issues. It's part of your awakening. It's part of the ascension process. So, it's a beautiful thing.
Lovely. Or I will see these clear dots like raindrops randomly moving about. Is this spirit?
I would say don't analyze it. You just watched a movie. Don't analyze it. Don't put your mind to it. Just, especially during meditation, you can analyze afterwards, but especially during meditation, sometimes it's not meant for you to know. Just watch it. And for now, you're just watching and seeing it, and just keep watching and just let it form into what it needs to form in the time that it needs to form. It all comes together. And we all progress at different levels in different ways. So what's unique to you is not going to be the same for someone else. So don't think about it too much. Just observe.
That happened to me last week. I was literally sitting on this couch watching the Frida Kahlo movie, and it looked like it was raining in my living room.
Wow.
Wow.
And at first it scared me, but then I started laughing. And my husband's like, "What are you laughing at?" And I'm like, "It's raining in here." And he was like, "Okay."
You actually bring up a great point, Martine, because when these things happen is not to be afraid of it.
Yeah.
Relax your body and settle into it and let it happen.
Yeah, at first, your first instinct is to be like, "Oh shit, it's raining in here." But I was like, "Oh, okay." And it was a good feeling. So yeah, I could definitely relate to what she was, feeling or what she saw. It's not eye issues.
That's good. Good to know, June. Let's see. Next one is for Angela Hutkins. Does anyone have a special routine to prepare for meditation?
I don't have a routine, but I just have a space that's mine. Mm-hmm. And my space it's my sanctuary. And even though it's just in the room just behind me here, and I have my couch, I have a couple of pillows, I have something kind of for my back, I have my eye mask there if I need it. And it's just my quiet space with my grounding mat. So I always have a grounding mat, I have my feet grounded on it. And that's just where I do it. It's just my space. So I don't particularly prepare for it. Outside of the only preparation is how much time do I have? So once I figure out how much time I have, that's when I set my alarm, and then I'll just go into meditation, whatever my alarm is. So I don't have to worry about, how long am I going? Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a space to, in my bedroom, and I can make it dark at any time of the day. So I really enjoy that. And that's just the place where I always meditate. So that works for me. Absolutely.
Me too. I have a space where I meditate, and I love doing singing bowls, clearing my space first before I get into a meditated trance for myself. So just one thing I do is I make sure I'm comfortable, and I clear my space, whether it be with Palo Santo, sage, or just singing bowl, and then I'm ready to go. So.
And do you have like crystals and stuff that you guys use?
Lately, I've been using my rose quartz crystal, yes, and my clear quartz. So I've been working with those for grounding and bringing love in and clarity and things of that sort. So I've been working with crystals a lot more. I have a whole bunch of crystals, but lately I have been guided to work with crystals specifically for certain areas of my life that I am working on. So, and that's one thing that I also enjoy too. So.
Lovely. Let's see. Tana Lechmi is saying no sound, cannot hear Khan. So, but nobody else is having issues. So just try and refresh and come back in. Tana Lechmi. See if that helps. Yeah, Sun is advising the same thing. Lovely. You are welcome, Sun. Let's see. Grace saying, for visualization, I've created a beautiful landscape with waterfalls and green hills. And in the middle of that place, I imagine myself meditating and listening to the nature and finding peace. Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Hi, Amy. Welcome.
Hi, Amy.
Let's see. There we go. I get a kindness, peace, laughter. I get a clicking sound in the left inside of my brain when I start meditation. Any thoughts on what this may be?
My thought is, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Rachel.
This is my first thought, because this happened to me one time. It could be like your heartbeat that you're hearing. I don't know. I've had that experience. I asked to hear my heartbeat one time, and I could hear it like audibly in my ear, like clicking. And so that's just what popped into my head. So I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but that has happened to me before.
And I get clicking it comes in and out. I was experiencing clicking this morning. And when I started hearing clicking was when I started Kristen Davies' mediumship course. And that's the first time that I started hearing clicking in my ear, and it was my left ear. And so for me, it was one of my guides getting my attention. So that could be another thing as well, is your higher self, your guides, your angels is getting your attention. So, that could be another thing. It could be your heartbeat. It could be just those, just like we have ringing in the ears, right? When we hear frequencies, So, but yeah, tune into it and see what you get.
Beautiful, Angela.
Yeah, I have a space for meditation and using my grounding mat and crystals. Beautiful. Thank you from Loretta. And we have the final question from Loretta as well. Oh, this is about the broadcast. So let's see.
Yeah, so this is being live streamed to all 6 of our YouTube channels. Mm-hmm. Within the description of all of those channels, you can find this. It's just going to stay there. So it's streamed to YouTube and it's going to stay on YouTube. So after we end this transmission, it'll just convert this into a video that just stays on our channels. And go to all of our channels, support us all, give us all a like. It all helps to kind of get this message out and connect with who you like here. We're just a collective group of souls, like Kristie said, and we're just here to love each other, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's time for the final 10-minute grounding meditation.
Yes. I have a question, Kristie, about grounding.
Okay.
And I've asked a couple people, but just from your opinion and experience, when we're grounding, depending on where we're at, so if we're outside or inside, I hear a lot about jewelry. So does jewelry affect the grounding process of, just grounding in general? So I guess that's my question. Does jewelry affect the grounding process?
I haven't had that question before, but my personal opinion is, especially if it's jewelry that you wear, I wear rings and jewelry myself. I always have my stones that I wear, and I feel like my jewelry resonates with me, and I don't feel like it works against me at all. If it was something that I felt worked against me, it wouldn't be on me. So, but that's my opinion on that. I've never been asked. I've never really thought about the jewelry at all, actually. But I feel like all of my jewelry works with me. It doesn't work against me.
Yeah, we have to remember what grounding is, and grounding is really to control the electrical currents going through the body. It's not a spiritual thing; it's a physical thing, and that's why we ground to the earth, because the earth is dealing with negative and positive ions. So as certain flux of ions come in, it's taking out, it's giving it a channel to go through. So all the ions are going into the ground instead of staying in the body. So the rings of metal, if anything, it would be a conduit. So gold is a really good conduit. Silver is a good conduit. Copper is a really good conduit. So if you're wearing rings, it's really just part of your circuitry, and it's not going to affect it at all, unless you have it plugged into an electrical socket somewhere. Well, yeah. Other than that, grounding is really where you do it and how you do it. It's a physical thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, the grounding meditation.
Okay, before we get started, there's a few things I wanted to go over, and today we're going to utilize the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart chakras. Next week, we're going to start extensive review through each and every one of the chakras. Today, I'm just going to do a quick little brief description of the location of the chakras, so that it can assist you in this exercise, just in case you're not aware of where they are located or what I'm talking about. This way you will know the location and, kind of have a general idea. And all of the chakras have a specific color, location, and purpose. And there's literally thousands of chakras throughout the body, but we have 7 focal points that we deal with when we talk about chakras in general. And the root chakra is the color red. It's located at the base of the spine, and it has the purpose of grounding, survival instinct, and endurance. The sacral chakra, the color is orange. It's located around the center of the abdomen, about 1 or 2 inches below the belly button. And the purpose is creativity, sexuality, and intimacy. The solar plexus is yellow in color. It's located right around the belly button. And the purpose is courage, willpower, and readiness. Our heart chakra is located at our heart. The color is green. The purpose is love, compassion, and empathy. Our throat chakra is blue. It's located at our throat. The purpose is communication, intention, and patience. The third eye is indigo. It's located in between, in the middle of the head, between the eyebrows. The purpose is awareness, intuitive ability, and inner witness. And then the crown chakra is violet. It's located at the top of the head, and the purpose is higher self, universal energy, and spiritual guidance. So just the quick little review so you guys can have a visualization when I say come into your root chakra or your sacral or whatever, so you guys will know where we're at.
Perfect.
Okay. So if you would just get comfortable, get you a drink of water. Put your feet on the floor if possible. If you have bare feet.
Always bare feet. I love bare feet.
Some people have grounding mats, so utilize those as well. And we're going to just close your eyes. Make sure you're comfortable. Relax. And I want you to just take 3 deep breaths in and out. We're going to take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Breathe out. And just breathe normally. We're going to ask our higher self to connect during this meditation. Allow our energies of the greatest good of all to be shared among us and sent out by us. I want you to start by focusing your attention to the bottoms of your feet. Imagine that your bare feet are touching the ground or the grass. We're going to ground down into the earth. Imagine pillars of energy coming out of your feet, going down into the earth. We're going down through the rocks, down through the water, all of the elements of the earth. Branch out, down until we reach the core. Once we get to the core of the earth, we're going to take our pillars of energy and we're going to wrap it around the core. Wrap it around the core again. And one more time, wrap it around the core, wrap the energy around. This is anchoring ourselves into the core of Earth. Absorb that energy. Let's feel that energy of the core for just a moment. And we're going to start imagining that energy, bringing it back up to the bottoms of your feet. You can feel that tingling and coming into your feet. So it might feel cold or it might feel hot. Pull that energy up with your breath. Breathe in, bring it up to your root chakra. Breathe it into your root chakra. Take another breath in and bring it up to your sacral chakra. Breathe. Breathe in and bring it up to your solar plexus. Breathe in again and bring it up to your heart chakra. We're going to hold this energy here in our heart chakra for just a moment. Feel the earth energy, that grounding, calm energy in our hearts. We're going to keep bringing that energy in until it overflows. It overflows from our hearts, and we're going to expand it out. Expand it out to the room around you that you're in. And then we're going to expand it out to the building you are in. With our next breath, we're going to expand it out to our town or territory. Spreading calm, peaceful energy out, grounding our town. Send it out to our state. Keep on expanding it out every breath. until we expand it out and give a big old hug to the atmosphere of the earth. Fill up the atmosphere with this grounding and calm energy. Breathe it out around the earth. Let it settle. Let's ask that it be sent to the dense areas of energy and to those that need it most. Smile. Feel how comfortable the energy feels. Be aware of how it makes you feel. Let's use this energy to transmute the fear to love. There's a lot of fear on the earth right now. We need to spread the love. Ground the energy into the atmosphere and let it just be absorbed by those. Let people just absorb it. Breathe. We're going to start bringing our focus back. Slowly bring it back closer to us. Bring the energy back to the room that you are in. Stay aware of how the energy feels around you. Breathe. Slowly, whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Hold on to this feeling of the energy and how good it feels and keep it with you for the rest of the day. It will stay with you. You can do this meditation anytime to bring calm to your space or anywhere that you need around you.
Thank you, Kristie. That was beautiful. I'm vibrating all over.
Me too.
Yeah, amazing.
It's a healing energy. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Kristie.
All right. So that brings us to the closing words of Kristie right now. And that will be the end of the episode. So, Kristie.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the little bell to get notifications when we go live every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. All of our information is listed below the video. We encourage each of you to connect with us individually. We are all glad to connect with you. If you need assistance with meditation or would like to have a guided meditation, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be glad to assist you. Does any of our panelists have any upcoming events that you'd like to announce?
I'll start. So I've got something at 12 noon and 12 midnight Eastern Daylight Time every day for the heart coherence and heart meditation, pretty much what Kristie just put us through to increase our own vibrations, which heals the body, heals the planet. And then on Friday, 2 days, I have Ask Spirits. So bring all of your questions that you have that you want from your guides, spirits, angels, and I'll be answering them on Friday on my channel. Thank you.
Anybody else?
That's
and
right.
I have my weekly and weekend collective readings that I do on my Facebook page, Intuitive Guidance with Desiree Nicole. And that is at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, except for this this Friday will be at 10 a.m. Along with, I also have a YouTube channel, Intuitive Guidance with Desiree Nicole. So check that out.
Martin?
And I have on my private Facebook group called Intuitive Soul Rising, I host a live event on Thursdays at 1 p.m. That's Mountain Standard Time. And it's where we channel the Ascended Masters. So it's an 11-week total event, but we're going into week 8 tomorrow of that event. And so each week we bring in 3 different Ascended Masters and we practice sensing their energies, and we practice channeling guidance from them. We share what we get with each other, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's so good. Yeah, love that session.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Martine, you have anything coming up?
I just have my weekly readings on my YouTube channel that everyone can check out and go ahead and subscribe to.
Beautiful.
Lovely, lovely.
Okay.
All right.
If there isn't anything else, thank you guys for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next week. Have a blessed day. Much love.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.